My writing attention is wandering again.
La la la, clicky keyboard noises, la la la, keyboard noises.
If you write with any regularity, you know the feeling. You're enjoying your story, things are going really well, and then you get a little idea, and it's like the seed of a new story. For some people, they can just write that idea down in a notebook or a safe place and then basically just put it out of their minds until they're done with their current project, and then they can devote time to developing this new idea. There's also the people who will drop their current idea like a hot potato and obsess over the shiny new idea until the next new idea comes along. And when I first started writing, I was this person, the hot potato lady, the hot potato teen, I guess, since I was like 15 when I first started writing with any regularity. If I wasn't writing something that was specifically going to be put out on Quizilla, and even sometimes then too, I hopped from project to project, chasing that dopamine like a little good time gremlin. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot of fun, but it left me with a pile of stories that I wrote 20 to 50 pages on and then just ran out of steam because something newer and more fun came along. When I started taking writing more seriously, I knew I had to do something about this. Can't exactly send out a bunch of query letters on a 1/3 finished story, can ya? But darn it if the allure of a new story didn't catch me every time. And that's kind of where I am right now. I've been working on my pirate fantasy adventure, chugging along in the slow but steady pace that one can really only get when sneaking writing sessions when your kid's not looking. But now I'm also getting ideas not only for a new project, but also ideas on how I can make Slightly Supernatural better. And for those of you that don't know, Slightly Supernatural is a paranormal series that I've been working on. I kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit so I could focus on this pirate fantasy adventure, but I will be returning to the paranormal story when I get done with this one. And like I said at the beginning of this video, some people can just write down their ideas and forget about it, but I can't. I'm always reading things about how journaling is good for you because it helps you get things out of your head so you're not obsessing over them. Writing it down doesn't let me let things go. I guess I just don't trust myself to have written it down correctly. So I can't just leave it in my head and dwell on it and then lose my focus on the current project. But I also can't just write it down and then chase after that idea. So how do I combat the desire to follow a new idea with the need to focus on what I'm currently doing? Right now, I am a huge fan of timers on my phones, like in apps in particular. I have timers on my most used apps, so I'm not spending all day doom scrolling, which has been great for my mental health, by the way. Highly recommend it. I set reminders so I don't forget to do stuff when I get distracted by other tasks, like if I start cleaning my room, I set a timer so I don't forget that there's laundry going down in the basement, or I don't forget to bring my garden seedlings inside so they don't crisp up and or freeze. And this is kind of like the same thing, kind of setting a timer for focus. I set a really short timer, like 3 minutes, and then I jot everything down in a Google Doc titled story ideas or things I might use later, depending on what the idea is in my head. If it's a line of dialogue, I'll just write down lines of dialogue. If it's like a character that sounds interesting, I'll jot down in character files. I've got a bunch of different files going. When that timer's up, it's done. I have done my focusing on a new thing, and then I can't work on it again. And I set aside a very small writing session every week so that I can explore them if they're still generating like an intense like need to explore them. Because sometimes I'll write it down and then when I get to my 30 minutes or whatever to explore new ideas, I look at it and I'm like, upon reflection, sometimes it's not, and sometimes I can read it and go, okay, that's cool. I've written it the way I want to. I've got the bare bones of it down. So when it comes time, I can revisit it. And that way it gets some of those ideas out of my head and it scratches that itchy feeling out of my head. But it also makes me make sure that I am spending the majority of my writing time working on my current project. It keeps things fresh. It helps me develop these new ideas. And it keeps me interested in my current project because I can divert my attention to the new idea sandbox if the pirate fantasy ever gets a little stale. And some of the fun little ideas that I thought about are actually things that I can tie back into the new story. And without having workshopped them at least a little bit, I may not have realized that. For me, it's a win all around. So I either get ideas for a new story that I can kind of tinker on every once in a while, like once a week, or it gives me ideas for my current story and it helps me move past potentially stale sections. And I think that's great. And speaking of doing things for your brain, did you know that reading out loud uses different brain circuits than reading silently? It's one of the reasons why I say that reading an audiobook is still reading, because it's still firing up the synapses. It's just different ones. Take that, elitists. I'm currently in the process of moving everything in the arts and crafts slash crafty guest room into what will soon be my kids' old bedroom, and my kids' bedroom will be coming this room. So the next video, hopefully, will be with me having transferred everything into that room. It'll be worth it when it's done. Cats are doing good. Willow's still in her collar. Naja is like super, super clingy. If I'm standing in one spot for too long, like folding laundry, she just lays at my feet and just like rolls on my feet. Not so cute when she gets the claws out and tries to like bat the hemming of my pants. If you look over here, I have a stack of fabric that I got from Joanne Fabrics, soon to be RIP. I'm going to experiment with making beeswax wraps. I thought that would be kind of cool. Some of those are going to be for me, some of those are going to be for my sisters-in-law. We'll see how it goes. I've already got all the materials I need for it. I just have to find an afternoon where I can snip, wax melt, whatever. My garden is like, my seedlings are starting to do good. I've got several grow bags. I just got some bamboo trellising. I think they're just called garden stakes, but I'm going to try to build them into trellises because I've got like squash and cucumbers that, they're going to want to grow up. We'll see how those go. I have decided I am not going to finish making my plastic canvas castle. I've been on the fence about it for a while, but with Joanne closing, that goes a lot of my crafting materials, and I don't really want to buy the canvas from Hobby Lobby because like the sizes might be different and I don't want things to be not lined up well. And also my cats have been using the completed portions to lay on, and my kids been playing on it. And I think it's already starting to cave. So I do feel like I've wasted a bit of time because I think I worked on it for like 2 years or something, 2.5 years maybe, and I'm not going to finish it. But at the same time, there's really not a point to finishing it if by the time I get done, at least a third of it is already broken to the point where I can't use it. Oh well. As for all of the yarn that I have that I'm not going to finish, maybe I'll try crochet again. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. Thank you for sitting around and letting me talk about my little writing update and my little detours into other ideas, and let you know that I'm still plugging away at my story. It's coming along. It's slow going. I can play on my phone and my kid will not have an issue. But the second I pull up my tablet, the second that I pull up Google Drive on my phone, he knows. And lately, he's been sleeping in this room, which means I can't stay up late typing because he's, 3 feet on the other side of this camera sleeping. And I don't want my clicky clacky noises keeping him from sleeping. So getting that room switched out is going to be very helpful for me. But anyway, this has been today's writing update and a little discussion of how I handle my wandering attention. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer McPeak. I am a presently unpublished author working on a few different projects, including a pirate adventure fantasy with romantic elements based on Captain Hook, as well as my paranormal series, Slightly Supernatural, which is currently on pause. I'm hoping to either traditionally or self-publish once everything gets all sorted. We'll see. If you'd like to follow me along on this journey, and I would love it if you did, I post new videos every other Wednesday. I talk about reading, writing, arts and crafts, give writing updates, and whatever else strikes my fancy. You can also follow me on Instagram, jmcpeakwrites. Right now the posts are sporadic and mostly about things that I've been making from scratch around the house, but I will try to start putting more writing updates on that one. Hope you have a great day. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, if you've got any tips and tricks for keeping yourself focused, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Later.
La la la, clicky keyboard noises. La la la, keyboard noises.